Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Rooted in Hebrew. My name is Mike, and I'd like to welcome you all back to another day. Trying to be, let us continue to do our best to be encouraging to one another as we see these days drawing to an end. We recognizing a whole lot of stuff, and we really, truthfully, and this is just my encouragement. I'm not trying to dibble and dabble with a great deal of negativity. I mean, we've been swimming in that for years, and I think it's come to a point where this has to be strictly about the positive. Everything about us that has been fed to us has been laced with this seemingly looking as a positive. But when you start taking the layers off, you come to understand it was absolutely a negative. And that was just to keep us down when it's all said and done. Shalom, Sister Donna. I'm glad you made it in this morning, sister. And that's what we have come to realize, that truthfully, a lot of stuff that we received, things that we have gotten, but when you start peeling back the layers, taking off the sheets and things, you come, man, this really was not good for me. And we starting to realize that in the world, I mean, hey, the world will do what it's going to do. And at the same time, hoping and praying that you don't come to a realization of it. And that's the whole purpose of today's title. We have the power. But the media, let me just go back and let me do it this way. When I was into music, and I come to find out that there was this one particular guy, I forgot his name, but when I was in Chicago, this rapper had some good lyrics. He had the nice beats and everything. I'm serious. He had beats that was comparable to Dre. The only thing different about it was his lyrics was totally upbuilding for Black people. But I told the truth about it though. I said he's not going to get into the music business, and he didn't. Well, let me put it this way: he got a dusting of the business. That's what he got. He got a dusting of the business, and so when he got that, shalom, brother Kenneth. I'm glad you made it in, brother. That was by design. That was absolutely by design. And now you're going to understand the reason why I'm saying this. Hold on. All righty. Hold on just for a moment. All righty. There we go. Oh, let me go back. There we go. And so, with this brother's career, that was he was trying to take off. He just didn't want to be on the concrete. He wanted the world to hear what he has to say. But as we all know, who controls the media? And the media was not going to put that out. This brother had some encouraging lyrics for Blacks, and there was nothing negative about it. The issue is this: we have the power, brothers. And I'm going to show you why we have the power. And you will understand why we have the power and why we should use this power, especially in this particular time in which we are in right now. Shalom, Sister Monica. I'm glad you made it in, sis. They recognize in well, we should well, I mean, we didn't know, but the fact that we did not know Israel, that who we were, we suffered for that, and that's a known fact. We suffered for what we did not know. We suffered for it, but due to the undeserved kindness of the Most High, He woke us up. And I know I say that a lot, with this awakening, we understand a lot more. But truthfully, knowledge is power. Understand that, brothers. Understand that the fact that you know who you are, that's a power. And that's a power that the world do not want you to know. Shalom, Sister Van P. I'm glad you made it in, sis. I know you got your headphones on in your work. I'm glad you made it in, sis. This is the thing we have to understand. Now, we do have so many different medias out there now. And this is my encouragement to each and every last one of you brothers and sisters. And I hope you all share this with others, because the more we understand this, the better off we're going to go. We're going to be. Now, but this is one thing. This is one time I'm going to have to dip off into the negative. I'm going to have to dip off into the negative in order for you to understand the positive. That's what I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to use some language that I do not use in my daily life. I hate cursing, but I'm going to have to use it for you brothers and sisters. Understand where I'm going with this, because you want to understand the power what the Most High said that we have. And it seems like we're not believing what the Most High said we have. And I'm serious, brother. We got to come out swinging on this here. Just yesterday, a brother came over to my to the place where my other two brothers have, to which one I'm staying. And so this brother was talking. He was talking about this young lady that he had met. And I said, yeah. And he was talking about this. And he was, he calling her a bitch and a hoe. And, she sells this, she sells that, but not to him, and things of that nature. So I'm listening to him, right? So I'm like, well, brother, hold on for a moment. Because he took my voice as if, I'm rolling that way in the streets. And so I said, no, I don't get down that way. And I said, truthfully, brother, we brothers, we gonna have to lift our sisters up. I said, this bitch and this whole mentality. I said, brother, we only people we can blame is brothers. I said, you got to understand the power of the tongue. When you calling these women bitches and hoes, and you turn to calling them tricks, you call them this here, you call them that there, what do they eventually do? What do they eventually do? They eventually did just that. Some of the paths of some sisters are worse than men. I said, but who you going to blame for that? You can't call all women bitches and hoes, but you got to start with the brother who started this, or brothers. I said, it's going to be us. We put that in the sister's head, and then on top of that, not only did we do this, then the world came right on top of it and gave them a false sense of security. You're over these niggas. These men, you don't need them. Now, at the same time, the brothers, you calling these women bitches and hoes. You tell them you ain't nothing. Go ahead and run that trick. This is the stuff that brothers told our sisters. This is the negative, and the world fed on it. It got stronger and stronger and stronger. The majority of women that you see today, they have at least 3 to 4 kids. By at least 3 guys. Now, mind you, I'm not blaming the sisters. I am going to reach out to the brothers, though. Because when you study life and history, you go come to find out we did that. We can't blame nobody for cursing our sisters. When you curse your sister, it's on. Listen to me on this one. This young brother, he sat right there and he said, "Bruh, man, you ain't lying." He said, "I do understand the power of the tongue." And I said, when you talking to your brother, your buddies and everything, I said, you all don't call your sisters queens and things like that, but you call them a bitch and a hoe and a dog. That's what you do. He said, yeah, we do. He said, it's like we got to say these things in front of everybody else to make like, hey, I'm down with the cause. And I said, your cause? And I said, now, and then I came back on the brother, said, let me ask you something else. How many kids you got? He said, man, I know you getting that, brother. I got 3 daughters. I said, that's my point. I said, you know for a fact you don't want nobody calling your daughter that. I said, but these rappers, they can get all on TV, call them B's and H's, as if they're doing, well, they're doing their Lord's will, all right. The Lord of the system, yeah, they doing his will. They are doing his will. So, I mean, brothers and sisters, when I say we had a few hours of conversation about how we damaged sisters. I'm telling, we went in deep until when it got to it, the brother said, you know what, man, I was planning on going over there and just breaking the sister off and all that stuff. He said, but now, brother, you got something on me. You really laid something down on me. And he said, and I understand it got to start somewhere. It got to start somewhere. And sometimes you may have to take a hit for it. And that's what to which I explained to the brothers. We will all have to take a hit. I don't care. You may feel like, man, I'm doing all this and this girl being ungrateful. I said, but hey, you put her in an ungrateful position. You may not have done it personally, but your words was a strength in a wicked system that just went out in waves, and it damaged our sisters. When I say, brothers, we have the power. We have the power, and it's that tongue. And for all you brothers out there, when you call your sisters a bitch or a hoe, trust and believe, you're going to get cursed just as she is. Well, she may not get cursed. It all depends on how she take it. But you're going to get cursed. The Most High, and when I tell you, when I was talking to this brother, I went down through history, and these brothers understood because they was like, I said, man, we always got to go back to the 90s in order for, at least I would go back into the 90s for them to understand what I'm talking about. Shalom, Sister Monica. And, you know, it's talking with this brother. And he's saying, you know what, man, I mean, brothers and sisters, listen to me when I tell you that this brother was listening intently. He was blown. He said, I did not expect this to come from you, brother. He said, I'm listening to your voice or whatever. It sounds like, hey, he said, but when he came out, yeah, I met this little bitch and things of that nature, man, and I'm so and so this, and I'm like, I'm just listening, and I'm waiting for my turn to speak. And when I spoke, I said, no, brother, you're part of the problem. And he said, what you mean? I said, scripturally speaking, the Most High said to Abraham, I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. Do you know that cursing includes our sisters, brothers? That includes our sisters. We're the only people that is divided. And the world took all of this, took all of the bitches and the hoes and put it out there before the world. Now, and this is the thing, brothers. It is a known fact that we are trendsetters. If we know this for a fact that this is what we have that gift, brothers and sisters, this is the time for us to take that trend setting and put it on a whole different level. This is what we need to be doing right now. We need to be taking that trend, that with the power that we claim that we have, and use that power. One, we're gonna have to raise our sisters up, because without them, I don't care what you're talking about, brothers, you ain't gonna go no further. If these sisters are with you on this march, you dead in the water. The Most High brought her into the world as a compliment to you. It will make you think that you're going to leave her behind. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. You will have to grab a hold of this woman's hand and lift her up. Hey, whatever mental disability that she may have encountered due to the destructive power of our voice towards them, nigga, we are responsible. We are responsible. And truthfully, let's just say that, hey, they have some reservations about listening to, and it's going to happen. They're going to have a reservation. The damage went deep, but not impossible to reach. It's not impossible to reach these sisters. And if you got your feelings, I'm talking to you about you, brothers. If you got your feelings so wrapped up, man, I try to help this woman out, man. She right here still in the streets and thing. It ain't gonna happen overnight, brothers, but you gotta start somewhere. You gotta lay a seed. That's all you need to do. Because trust and believe, that seed eventually is going to sprout. It's just like the rest of your brothers and sisters out there. You go talk to your family members. And you may quote one scripture or two. Things may get out of hand and you leave it alone. But that one or two scriptures that you did leave, that's the one that's going to hit them the hardest. That's the one the Most High is going to let grow. The same thing with these sisters, brothers and brothers. The same thing is going to happen with these sisters. We, back in I'm going to say the 70s. I do remember some of the 70s, but look at this, brothers. Brother was singing, the singers back then, they was always singing about a love song. They was talking about how beautiful this woman was. Brick House, just go back and listen to some of the songs. It's always the brothers that were singing about either a black woman's beauty, calling her a queen, or how much he loved her. Now, but then a difference especially if you're going from the 70s, then you go back into the 60s. Now, it was all about black love, brothers. Now, take that strength of the 70s. Take the strength of the 60s. Take the strength of the 50s. Well, hold on. Hold on. It started going down in the 60s, truthfully. Yeah, it did. Because now that right there, I would not put on black men, because that was something that the government did. You could not have a black man inside your house for your own welfare. So they started it. And so with that, what they started, and then so in the 60s, and you look at some of the reports, that's when the young sisters who was having babies said, I don't really need a man. And they all over, they was interviewing with black women with babies sitting in their laps. Because of welfare. Welfare gave them a false sense of security. I really don't need no man. But then the one thing, although we know that was not true when sisters were saying that they did not need a man. That was a untruth that this world made the sisters feel that they did not need us. They gave off that. They pushed that. But then when sisters started saying that they didn't need us, that was a blow. Words The strength of the words has power. It has power. And we're the only people, brothers and sisters, that they came in with a vengeance and worked against us. Now, mind you, it took a moment. It did. It took a moment. But whew, as time went on, the hammer was coming down a lot harder on black men as well as black women. And we can see what history has shown is that they came down, the world came down on black men. And this the men. We have to take these men down. How can we do it? Let's just fire them. Let's add some stress into their lives. If they ain't got no job, they can't take care of their kids. What do they just make sure we have a liquor store in the neighborhood. Make sure we have a liquor store in the neighborhood. And then at the same time, let's start bringing in some drugs into the neighborhood. If we really going to damage these people, we need to damage that nigga first. We need to damage these niggas first. This is what they're talking about. This is what they did. This is the history of nation against one nation. This is what they did. Hold on just for a moment. Something's going on. Sister Monica or Sister Van P, are you all hearing me? It seems, man, my phone went off and the internet it went off. I don't know why my phone going off, but are you all able to hear me? Where did the phone go off? The TV too. Sister Monica, you say yes, you can hear me? Let me just do this here. Let me do it this way. Loud and clear. Okay. I mean, for whatever reason, it just popped off, and I have to go back in. And all right, well, we're just keeping moving. Let me just shut this down. But the thing that I'm looking at, brothers and sisters, is that we have a strength, and it's in our voice. The Most High tell us we have the authority to speak things. We will speak life. We will speak death. Let's use what we have, brothers and sisters, to speak of power for us and ourselves and our brothers and sisters. I mean, granted, yeah, we had the ups, we had the downs, but this is one time we got to go up, and we got to continue to go up. We cannot afford to even drop down not even 1%, not even 0.5%, because we're seeing exactly what we are up against, and that's Satan. That's the people claiming to control these you pro-black. Oh, you also you prejudice. But let that be a person of another race. No, he's not prejudiced. Only prejudice is associated with the so-called black people. That's what it is associated with. And they want us to go through life thinking that. And then we got to a point, it's like, Bumpy, how you feeling? We ain't got nothing to do with how you feeling. Because this is about us and us loving us when it's all over said and done. When it's all over said and done. We look at the history, brother. This is my encouragement to sisters. Look at the history. What this world, the system, did to us. And it's sad though, because it's like African Americans, it's like, what did they call it? Ground zero. It's like we ground zero as to what happened to the black family, the so-called black family. Let's go with that. And we have a lot of damage. Now, but at the same time, now we come to understand why the Most High said He's going to open up a great deal of fury, because that's demonic stuff. But going back to this brother that came when we had this conversation, right? And so we was talking. I said, "No, brother, you're gonna have to redeem this sister. You cannot look at her as like a dog." I said, if we ourselves calling ourselves dog, and for you all that don't know, that's a female dog. Did not the Most High said this? Do not give what is holy to dogs. Do not give what is holy to dogs. But yet and still, Israel, we went out there, we called ourselves dog this, dog that. The 90s, yeah. I mean, and true, and we, although we did not know who we were still going to receive those curses for calling ourselves dogs. And like I had spoken to you, brothers and sisters, about some months ago, I hated that when that word, guys would come in, "Hey, what's up, dog?" I hated that with a passion. Yes, he did, Sister Monica. Yes, he did. Our Father said that. And then, Balaam, when he was on his way, when the king wanted him to come out there to curse Israel. And that's when and I'm going to tell you the strength of words. The Most High sent His angel. He told him, he said, "Oh, no. You're not going to curse these people because I have blessed them." Man, what is going on with this? All right, there you go. He told him, "No, you're not going to go there and curse." And the angel said, "Look here, I was going to kill you and spare the donkey." We got to understand, this is how serious we are. We are. I'm going to say we are. To the Most High. Now, if He was stopping this Gentile man from coming there to curse Israel, think about it. I know if. When He stopped this man from coming there to curse Israel, when the Most High had no. You're not going to go there and curse the people I have blessed. But for us, Israel, for us to curse ourselves, brothers and sisters, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. And we did just that. We cursed ourselves. It didn't take nobody else to do it. We cursed ourselves. Now, truthfully, this is the time where, brothers, we have to use our voice. And it has to be absolute, unadulterated, positive. It got to be glory going to the Most High. It's got to be giving respect, love, concern, care, whatever, to the sisters. This has to be like, it has to be over drenched in us now. It's like we got to get to a point. I'm gonna overlook that, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. That's still my brother. That's still my sister. And let's just say they went out there and lived a foul life. You still have to respect your sisters. We put them in that predicament. We put them in that predicament. And now, this is the sad thing about this, though, brothers, is this. On top of us calling our sisters out their name and us cursing them, and the curse came back on both of us. The curse came back on both of us. All right, you may have been in your 20s back in the 90s. Settle down. You're thinking about kids. But that curse ain't came off of you. That curse did not come off you instantly. It did not. That curse had to wear itself off. But unfortunately, that curse is alive and kicking right down to this day. You got sisters out there calling themselves, I'm the number one bitch. And not understanding that she is cursing her own self. You're putting yourself into a dog's position, an unclean animal. And the words that's coming out of your mouth is wrecking you. Now, some of these so-called rappers, they understood that. And so they started off with dog. Like, I mean, like Snoop. He knew he had to take dog off his name. Somebody had to enlighten him about that. But we went from MC this and MC that to double dog or whatever the situation may be. It's when you put when you put that unclean animal on you, Israel, you curse yourself. And people got to know who you were. Right now, they may call him Snoop, but majority of people call him Snoop Dogg. Why is it that negative still holding strong with him? You don't have a majority of people call him Snoop. No, they call him Snoop Dogg. They want that negativity to reign supreme. That is the world. And what makes you think, brothers and sisters, that if you put that title upon your sisters, you have some brothers right here down to this very day. They speak very ill about our sisters. And don't, I mean, they speak ill about our sisters. And the path of the path of some of our sisters is not a good one. And the path of some of our brothers is not good. It's not. These people, the issue, I would say, it's just not saying that it's in the entertainment field. It's local. But what do they use? They use the entertainment to push it out there. We need to get this into the streets. You have little white boys right here calling little white girls bitches and hoes. You have it out there now. The same with Spanish, Mexicans, whites. We know that we are trendsetters. Let's use the trend, brothers, of our faith to lift ourselves up. Period. This drama, that's right. I'm talking about worldwide. I'm speaking worldwide. You're right, Sister Monica. We can do it. And the more we do it, we will find out that you will understand the strength of your voice. Israel, do I really need to explain the strength of your voice? Let's go back and listen to the music. R&B, rhythm and blues. You got, what? All we have to do is listen to the music. And that we've been doing music since we got out of our forefathers came out of Egypt. Once they crossed the water, what did they do? They sung songs and they was dancing. This is what we did. We rejoice after the Most High saved our forefathers from the Egyptians. And that was not the only time we sung and danced. We did it out through history. Let's do it this way. Let's go with let's go with the Jacksons. They was all on TV doing the robot and everything. Got everybody's attention. Everybody. And if you go back and look at some of these movies about Ray Charles, let me see, what Cadillac Records, it was us. The lifestyle was not good, but why were we why were we the trendsetters? Why was Gentile people listening and being entertained by us? It's showing you had a power in your voice that the Most High had in you, or have in you. We were just misguided, or we were self-misguided, instead of using that voice to raise ourselves up. They took whatever negative they needed to get and push it out to the world. This is what the world did. They pushed it out there and they kept it before the world. And whatever negative they had to bring out, they brought it out. Boom, boom, boom. They did it. And if you ever notice, when you start having these movies about black entertainers and things of that nature, they kind of they emphasize more so on the negative. We are the true light, my brothers. We have this media channel. As long as we can say what we have or what they have out here, let us use it. Let us use it. There's a redeeming that we will have to sit down and work this out. I'm serious. It's going to happen, brothers. When these people get to where they want to be and everything starts to hit the fan, you brothers, there are a whole lot more sisters on this planet Earth. And so that's a whole lot of work, brothers. It sounds like it's an impossible mission. No, it's not. It's not. Brothers and sisters, they have brothers, you have your daughters. Teach them. You're not a bitch. You do not use that word bitch, because it will literally destroy you. And if a man cannot look at you for who you are, and if he can't understand who you are, you don't need to be with him. It's just that simple. You do not need to be with him. And I look at some of these relationships now. A little slight argument. The woman is calling him a bitch and he calling her a bitch. They calling one another bitch. And not understanding, they're destroying one another. They literally are destroying one another. And I'm quite sure a lot of you brothers and sisters can understand that, because we all been in some type of relationship where it was a disagreement and we wore our feelings on our sleeves. The voice that we do have, brothers and sisters, is a voice of authority. We can pick and choose what we want to say about our brothers and sisters. We have free will. We have that free will. Now, if you don't want to use it, that is your business. But you're gonna suffer for it too. Now we don't want to sit there and thinking that you will get off scot free. No, you're not. Whether you know it or not, you will get dealt with. You will get judged. But this is the time, brothers, and I'm saying we need to use the power that we do have in our voice, our minds, with free will to start making changes. We got to start making changes. We have the power of life and death in our tongues. Who do you think those scriptures were written for? Who do you think those scriptures was written for? Israel? You can sit there and call your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever out her name just in your mind. You go get cursed for it, Israel. You cannot call her out her name. She can't call you out her name. I mean, out your name. That goes both ways. Shalom, Sister Kathy. It goes both ways. Brothers, if you really want strength, we gonna have to start with the sisters. It's not saying they gonna give you strength, but the fact that you went out there and we are redeeming our sisters, making them feel the way they're supposed to feel, you're going to gain strength. Right now, you talk to the average black man, they say, "No, the white man is holding me down." No, it's not him that's holding you down. It's him that's causing a lot of havoc, yes, but it's not him that's holding you down. It's not him. It's you. You got brothers who they talk this game as if what is the word? What's the word? I'm very self what's that word they use? Confident. No, that's a lie. Majority of brothers know they're not. All you gotta do is look at the football players, the basketball players. They do not, when they do an interview, they do not look into the camera. When you're talking to them, they don't look at you eye to eye. Some do, because they practice that. But for the vast majority of them, they do not look in the camera. They do not look at the interviewer. There's a measure of confidence the world took from brothers. And brothers, it's time for us to sit. It's time for us to gear up to who we are, what we are, and what we're going to do. These sisters, they're gonna have to be right there beside you. They're gonna have to be right there beside you, brothers. They didn't this, like Yahushua said in Luke chapter 21. And see, this is how bad it has gotten with the alphabet thing. It is running through the neighborhoods. Little young sisters starting off very early with that lifestyle. But I tell you, they are trying their best to destroy us, brothers and sisters. The Most High keep on reaching out to us. It's time for us to grab a hold to his hand. It is time for us to grab out to his hand and hold on. This is the trampling of a nation. This is it, brothers. Let us recognize that and let us work against this trampling. I mean, individually, we cannot save the world, but we need to start doing our part. We need to do our part, because what I'm telling you, brothers, You're not going to go into the wilderness, into Yahushua's kingdom without your complement. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to go without your complement. And that is the black woman or Israel. It's not going to happen. If you think you're walking up with Becky and all that stuff, and all, okay, keep fooling yourself. You're not going to disrespect our sisters. You can sit up here and feel a certain way about your sisters and things because you may have had a bad experience. Man, please keep it moving. Well, I mean, who haven't had one? She had just much of a bad experience just like any other black man. I mean, that's how I'm going to take it, brothers. It ain't about trying to sit right here and mope and grope on some unnecessary nonsense. It happens. But you're not going to put someone above that woman because you're not going to appreciate somebody putting another man above you. That's one thing we're not trying to even tolerate. I heard some Hebrew men. I've seen some Hebrew men speak very ill about our sisters on YouTube. And I'm going to show you the seriousness of speaking against sisters, especially in this time of the end. One brother told me, "No, this is the reason why I don't date black women." And he had his little, let's call him a Gentile woman. And she's just sitting there. A week later, she killed him. She didn't do not one day her body experience. And then the doctors came in and said, yes, that's possible, and so on and so on. Okay. And that wasn't the only one. A sister, she got up there with her Gentile husband. And she talked about this here. Yeah, black men don't like it because so on this and so and so. The man beat her up that week. Israel, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, and start talking about what you don't like about your own people. You will get judged very quickly. And the Most High is showing his hand against that. There was a young brother. He was a dancer on one of these shows. Yeah, it happens all the time, Sister Kathy. On this other show, Ellen, he was like a dancer or something. But he was married to a Gentile lady. Now, all of a sudden, he came up deleted. They said self-deleted. And there was questions to everything about this guy. But this stuff is showing itself now. It is literally showing itself of what's really going on. Did not the Most High say what was done in the darkness shall come to the light? This is what's happening. You're not going to sit up here and talk about your sisters and thinking that you're going to just skip to the loo. Like everything's going to be cool. You're not going to continue to do it. You're not going to curse your sisters or your brothers and think you're not going to get dealt with. The Most High is showing his hand on that now. But the world at the same time still want to give off this notion that, hey, black people, black men, black women are on the rise. It's not on the rise. Interracial relationship is not on the rise. It is not. When I was in Tanzania, I know I said this once before. I went to this restaurant where the brothers and sisters that was working at all of us, us. But the owner, he's a white Gentile man, married to a Tanzanian woman. And I don't think she understands the severity of it, but she about to get hit. So she started wearing her husband's attitude. So she got to a point where she can't stand the workers in the restaurant who is of her. Shalom, Brother Robert. That's a very dangerous position to be in. But she got to the point where she can't stand them. But that's where she's from. She's from there. And so, and you would think that she would, that she would understand the struggle. Whatever spell he got her up. When the Most High tell you to stay with your people, he means stick with your own people. Because I have seen multiple relationships where um, when they get in there, they get into the relationship, it's like, especially more so with women, black women with white men, they take on they take on their attitude. And there's been in cases some brothers take on the attitude of their white wives. And who, I mean, you'd be looking at it, be like, man, are you for real? But this is what happens. Yeah, they want us to think that they might well keep that. Yeah, that's right, Sister Joan. They doing more advertising about that stuff, and it's their last ditch effort. This is what this is about. It's a last ditch effort. And don't get me wrong. There are brothers and sisters out here who been with them, been in a racial relationship for years. But those Hebrews, they don't play with that. Now I seen one brother, his his wife, she's white. He don't play that. It's like you can stay with this here, or you can go ahead and leave. But she decided to stay and everything, and but she'd be about that life, the Israelite life. Oh yeah, Shabbat. Yeah, she'd be about it. Scriptures, oh, she own it. And it is a demonic delusion when it's all over said and done. But we, brothers, we have a battle. I ain't gonna say it's a battle. Oh yeah. It's going to be a battle. It is. It's going to be a battle. Sister Kathy, that's spellbounding. And please, don't let them just. No, I mean, we ain't even talking about the. Let me say this. We're not even talking about the trailer trash. Let's just talk about the one that be middle class white women. Middle class. They still have a power over some of these brothers. They get them, they get to talking and things of that nature, and then next thing you know, they want to find out what's the black culture like, what is this, so and so. It always starts that way, and they gradually work themselves in. I want to run my finger through your hair, or whatever the situation may be. But see, this is what happens. We got to be on. We really got to be on point, brothers and sisters. With this awakening, we cannot be slow to make changes. We cannot be slow about making changes. The slower we move, the longer the process is going to be. What was it? Psalms 119. When David was saying, he said, no, when he get information about the laws, he's quick to make changes. That's what he was saying. He's quick to make change in order to get into his laws. Brothers, we have to be the same way. Sisters, we got to be the same way. We got to be quick about these laws, whatever it takes. And truthfully, it would appear that we're late. We're late to the game. Even though we may be late, brothers, I'm telling you, it is to our benefit if we start making changes right then and there. What do we need to do? These black women, they're not going nowhere, brothers. They're not going nowhere. Mm-mm. And they're not going to be replaced. Now, if you want to talk about that chart, just for some of these other Hebrews, I don't agree with that chart. I do not. Um, and I think it sounds like that's just a tactic for some of these brothers saying they marrying what you call it, Spanish women. They're still Gentiles. No matter how you look at it. Because if you look at the curses, those curses will be upon a particular people. All of the curses. And it ain't just because you may have some thugged out Mexican that don't make them Israel. Period. Off the top. But this is what some of the camps are trying to indoctrinate to people. Hey, over here's him, over here's that, over there. No, that's not. The Most High says he's going to judge these nations. You see, a lot of them are the nations that caused a lot of trouble, who did a lot of things. And so these are this is what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. This when you got a teaching saying these people over here, this is the tribe of Ephraim and all this here, but not one tribe is in Africa, not one. Not one. But these are the same people they claiming to be of Israel. Just because you may call them Indians and they got fringes on. The Romans had fringes on too now. But this is because, I mean, this is just my assumption. It's for them to say, hey, we can marry these particular women. They want some light-skinned kids or some kids with good hair or something. I don't know. Give me a dark-skinned woman, nappy hair, whatever the situation may be. That's the root. That's the one that's going to go deep. That's that slave mentality that some brothers and sisters still have right down to this day. Oh, I want my skin a little bit lighter. Because Satan got into us, made us feel worthless. Brothers started feeling worthless. Brothers started telling sisters, you're worthless. This is how they got into us, brothers. And now it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake up, and it's time for us to start to speak up. Put these brothers back on their pedestal, sisters. Brothers, put these sisters back on their pedestal. And it sounds like it's a simple, easy task to do. All you have to do is speak the words. That's all you have to do is speak the words. Those words. How many of you brothers and sisters out here blessing Israel in your prayers? Bless Israel continually. Because when you bless them, you're blessing all of us. You're blessing all of us, brothers and sisters. This is the time for us to start speaking truth for our sisters, about our sisters. It's going to happen, brother. And the thing about it is this, bro. Either you can keep up or you go get left behind. That's how it's going to happen. We are being warned what we need to do, how we need to speak. That's all it is. Truthfully, it's also it's encouraging, but at the same time, it's a warning. It is an absolute warning. I got you on that, Sister Kathy. I got you. It has to be on. It has to be daily. But the more that we do it, uh, as a nation, and then even if, in a small group, the Most High hears it, and we starting to get stronger and stronger with it. The last thing this world wants is a black Messiah. Tad bit too late, but it's a whole lot of us now. There's a whole lot of black messiahs out here. What are they trying to do? Hey, they want to do a massive reconnaissance. We need to get every last one of these, bring these niggas back down to earth. That's what it seems like. They want this to happen. Every day and every way. I see you on that one, Sister Monica. And we was also talking about, I don't know why I be forgetting this sister's name. I think it was Henrietta. I could be wrong. The one that Oprah Winfrey did a movie about, and how they used this sister's body for coming up with certain types of medicines and things of that nature. We talked about her. We talked about all these brothers. When I tell you, we talked for like 3 or 4 hours about what's happening to black women. We did. We talked about from the unexplained kidnapping of missing sisters. Shalom, Sister Pixie Dust. We even talked about that missing sisters come up missing, body parts and everything of that nature. Why do they want to keep black women's afterbirth? Why? There's something special about us. But until we start to wake up and start to realize, hey, this is who we are. We have a strength. The world do not want you to come into contact with your strength, because your strength can supersede them, and it will supersede them. They do not want you to recognize their strength. The moment you recognize their strength, you will start wielding their strength. That's fear will kick in then for them, because they will recognize, oh, I did some dirt to these niggas. And I know they payback is gonna be something else. Yes, they know this. They know this. And they believe in it too. It ain't just one nation. You never have the whole world, because the Most High said we're in the 4 corners of the earth. He said he's going to judge these nations. How they treated his people. Touch not my anointed. All of Israel is anointed. And brothers, that goes, talking to Hebrew brothers is like, if this stuff can hit a regular brother, that's truthfully the ones I'm hoping to touch, to understand. Hey, this is gonna have to stop. Do you all remember there was an interview Lil Wayne was doing on ABC some years ago? His daughter was little at the time, and he got upset. But the lady she was telling him the truth. He said, like, why can you call women's bitches and hoes? But then if somebody call your little girl a bitch or hoe, you get upset. See, that's just like that reverse psychology. That's the reverse psychology. He can't deal with that. And what? A lot of them get out there and they talk about they say this and they say that. That's in their raps. That's in their raps. And that's the thing, brothers. We know we are we have a responsibility, brothers, to our sisters. We do. Um, and to these younger brothers. You gotta start letting them know, hey man, y'all can sit up and talk all that the bitches and hoes. But those same women you lay down with, the same women you lay down with, you call them dogs, but you laying with the dog. You need to get that nonsense out your mouth. Then you get it out of your head. Because if you don't, Israel, and I'm talking about whether you are an awakening Hebrew or you still sleep, you still gonna get judged. You're going to get judged for it. There's a time for us to wake up. And it's going to be a time for us to, you will have to be real. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I seen all these other channels that come up. But ever since Kevin Samuels, you know, it's unfortunate passing. A lot of brothers um, start having these channels. And truthfully, they start breaking off of what he was saying. There were some things I do not agree with. There were some things I do not agree with. But we we mm-mm, we got to figure it out. And it's going to start with that. It's going to start with that thing up under your nose, brothers. It's going to be that mouth and that mindset. The two things where your strength lays. It's that mind and what comes out of your mouth. I'm telling you, this is a necessity. It is. It is a necessity. And if you think it's bad here, brothers and sisters, if you think it's, and it is bad, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's bad. Please go visit Africa. I'm serious. The whole world comes there for their illicit sex. They go to Africa. What? Go look at TikTok, YouTube. Our sisters out there on these channels. You're right. Channels are out of hand. They out there. I'm serious. We have a battle in front of us. And it's that mindset. There was a video a couple of years ago where these sisters, they went to go visit Ghana. Shalom, brother AJ. They went to go visit Ghana. And they went up there twerking at one of the slave location, the point of no return. They went out there and recording. They was out there twerking and things. Now what? Everybody want to be on video now. This type of dumb stuff, even though it's been some years ago, but this is the type of dumb stuff that we put ourselves in front of. We have a lot of beautiful black women out there. Yes, we do. Oh my goodness, yes, we do. And the world knows it. Look at it. Matter of fact, let's just fall back from the world. The demons knows it. If anyone of y'all have read the book of Tobit, no, there was a demon that was infatuated with this sister named Sarah. Infatuated with her. He killed 7 of her husbands, to which she was still a virgin. Yes, when I say our sisters are gorgeous, they are gorgeous. The demons even know that, but they can't touch these women like that. So now, if you see other people looking at, they came out and they abused our sisters and our brothers. I mean, our brothers did the same thing. You abused them. It's time. It's time for it's called straighten out your wrongs. Straighten out your wrongs. So now, when you get brothers start to look at life, what it is, and things, see what damage has been done, then here they come out here with this alphabet soup. And now, hold on, Sister Pixie, you said our women want maturity. Oh yeah, they want maturity, consistency, want our men to be strong, and that don't cost a thing. Yet we can't even get that. I'm gonna say this, Sister Pixie. There's damage that was been done on both sides. That's true. I'm not going, damage has been done on both sides. Before they attacked our sisters, the world knew they had to attack the man first. Slave time, buck breaking. They had the women, they had the wife there. They wanted the wife to see it. This is some demonic stuff, brothers. Y'all get into this stuff. You be like, y'all, and they call us niggas. I'm serious. To some of the stuff that they did is ridiculous, demonic. They wanted the wife there to see this stuff. The kids too. So now you buck breaking. So now you got another man that is assaulting a brother. Well, he's chained down where he can't do nothing. And his wife is seeing this. Now, mind you, what do you think is going through his head? What do you think is going through his head? He knows, you can just only imagine the fury, the hate, if he can just get his hand where he can kill. Because he know they doing something that is like outrageous rage that he wish he can get his hands on the person. And then his wife is seeing this. His kids are seeing this. This is the demonic stuff that this world has done to our brothers. Now, think about the psychological damage that did to that man. And how is he going to treat his kids? How is he going to look at his son in the face? It's like 90% of the time, there's going to be a sense of shame upon him until the day that he lays down and dies. To which his son seen that. His daughter seen that. Oh, his poor wife. And what did she do? She go try to have his back from day one and going forward, to reassure him. The reassurance, it may, with that type of trauma, it may fall on deaf ears. But this is the dumb stuff that we went through, brothers and sisters. Not only with the buck breaking, I mean, hey, even with our sisters. Even with our sisters. How do we need to, what they did to our sisters? Just to say, I was watching this movie, Birth of a Nation. And I sent that movie to one brother, and he started looking at it. He said, Mike, I have to stop looking at it. He said, see, this is what he said. He said, man, I can't watch that. He said, because see, it will bring up a great deal of hatred in him. But in this particular movie, there was a scene where the Gentiles were having a party, and his friend wanted one of the slave girls. It was one particular slave girl that he wanted. And this slave woman rather, was married to a brother. That brother was like, not living. And so the house nigga came on and said, man, do you think I want to come here and ask you and to bring this message to you? But they sent me out here to get your wife so he can sleep with your wife. So Nat was like, no, we can't do this. So he's trying to talk to their master. And he drunk. And then the guy that won, hey, is there a problem out there? What's caping that? What's the hold up? Eventually he got the woman. He did. But when that brother, her husband, this is what her husband did after this man has slept with his wife. He walked right up to her, hugged her, and held her, and both of them just cried. And he walked his wife into the house. This is what I'm talking about, Sister Pixie Dust. There's some positive actions our brothers have taken. Yeah, Birth of a Nation. And it would appear that was the closest time for black men and black women. It's like we tried our best to cling together. We understood the struggle, but the nation was still relentless as to separating us, assaulting us, using us. It would appear, brothers, that we have a battle, and it's as if this cannot be done. It can be done. It can be done. You know, you know what? Oh yes, they did. Yeah, they did. But brothers and sisters, but I'm gonna say this now. If it's going to take hate for us to wake up, I mean, what? So be it. That's that holy hate. That's that holy hate. This is what the Most High was telling us. You don't want to be part of the nations. You are a special property to me. I chose you out of all the people on this planet Earth to be my people, to be a special property for me. You are a gift to me, Israel. That's what the Most High was saying. I mean, I got you, Sister Van P. I mean, I understand it, because I look at it. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I look at those movies. I look at Book of Negroes. I look at Roots, the 2016 version. I look at all of it, because when I look at it, the first thing that pops in my head is all the scriptures that's involved with what's going on. I see all the scriptures, period. Boom, boom, boom. I hate a lot of stuff that I'm seeing, but hey, I'm looking at the scriptures that's taking place in this movie. Bam, 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 bam. I'm looking at all the scriptures, all of them. But if it takes hate for us to wake up, let's hate on. Call it a holy hate, a separation, a separate people. That will be my encouragement. The Most High said, you must hate the things I hate, love the things I love. He hates when we go outside of his people, Israel. He's very particular about his bloodline. His bloodline, Israel. He's particular about that right down to this very day. With this awakening, we start to wake up. All right, boom. This is what teach my kids. You marry within your own bloodline. You respect your sisters across the board. We're not going to tear up a family. Our family is the only one that's torn and ripped apart. The only one. Our family is the only people that is ripped apart. We got to start sewing things back together. We have to do it. Granted, brothers and sisters, although we may be living in captivity, we still can encourage our sisters. We can encourage our brothers. I mean, if in passing, and they talk about, hey, this little so and so, this little freak there, need to be dealt with, brothers. It need to be dealt with, because we got so bad with it that we allow other nations just to come on in and manhandle our sisters. The mature brothers, not so much. The young ones, whoo, please. That's what's happening. And these little, even the so-called new rap, that's all they talking. They call them. They continue to go on with it. The bees, the bitches, and the hoes. But now, not only are they calling the sisters the bitches and hoes, a lot of these rappers are saying, hey, they like men. So now it's taking on it's like, how low can you go? And it seems like Israel is trying to show how low it can go. That's what it's showing. This is how low Israel can go. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. Because now, when it gets into bestiality, by law, the person and that beast are supposed to be put to death. People talk all this stuff about sex. We had the conversation. We were still having the conversation that came up. Like, brother, you just can't call her. I mean, you can do what you want to do. I'm just saying. But if you keep on calling her a bitch and a hoe, all you're doing is cursing yourself. I said, this is the person you're talking about you want to be mating with or having sex with. Then they were talking about, man, what about a threesome? I'm like, bruh, no matter what you're talking about. What? You go still have the same orgasm. Ain't nothing gonna be different about it. But why is the world, Satan's system, making you feel that you will feel a different feeling? No, you're not. You're not. It's gonna be the same old one you had from day one. Let this stuff ride into the sunset. We got to get away from Satan's system with this stuff here. They thinking that, hey, you do this here, you do that there. Uh, you'll feel this way. He is the biggest pimp on this planet. And his pimp game is full of lies. Nothing but lies. Now, when you all reading the scriptures, the scripture says that you should not indulge in fornication. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you something about that scripture. Go back into the older Bibles. The older Bibles. They took the word sodomize out of the Bible and come with fornication. They took and switched those two words. Now, truthfully, same thing, but it hones in on the act. That's what it does. Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, this stuff is affecting our brothers very badly and our sisters. We have so many different directions of issues. It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. Fetish behavior. Sister, who do you think own those types of adult channels? The Rev 3929 people. They own the majority of those channels. Did not Yahushua say, I'm going to make them a synagogue of Satan? Well, good night. What do you see now? And now it's not that you go to the back in the days, you had to go to a video store and go into the behind a black, I believe it is. Some of them, they had the black curtain. You knew what was behind that curtain. You had to go rent those things. You don't have to go rent it now. Easy access. Turn your phone on. And it's affecting our people. Our people. Our sisters more so. Our sisters more so. Oh, brothers, and please, let's not even talk about Africa. Let's not even talk about that. It do seem like this uphill battle for us. But it's not. We will have to sit down, have conversation. Hey, this is what we need. Talk to your kids, your grandkids. Hey, no, this is wrong. The scripture says this here. And whether they want to take it, hey, but you laid the seed. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. Because it's going to come. The day is going to come, Israel, when the Most High is going to rectify all of this. The brothers who choose not to restart to respect their sisters, right, you go fall by the wayside. Just as much as the sisters too. If you fail to respect your brothers and things of that nature, yes, the sister's going to fall to the side just as much as the brothers go fall to the side, because the Most High don't want you there anyway. Because you're not going to do right. It's going to happen. There's hurt on both sides, but the brothers, you're the one who got to take the lead on the healing. This is how the Most High put you in place. Now, if you don't want to step up to that, all right, he don't need you. Matter of fact, he don't even want you. You will have to be for the Most High. Because when you for the Most High, you for the people, Israel. You're for the people. There's a lot of damage that has been done. There's a lot of things that need to be rectified when it comes to us. Off the top, it's going to be brothers, when I was in the world, when I was in the world, I did not realize how much hurt Black women carried. If y'all want to talk about some stress, whoo, good gracious almighty. When I was going through court trying to get custody of my son, what I was going through, I did not like Black women. Oh my goodness. You want to talk about a Negro that had a disrespect against Black women? I was that Negro. Yes, I was. I was that one. I was that one. And my life was all about, I ain't worried about y'all niggas. I'm just trying to get this and I'm going about my business. That's who I was. I have never seen. I told sisters, and now look here, I'm not looking for no relationship. I'm not. This is all about hit it. You go about your business, I go about mine. But I found that does not always work out. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't work out. These women, after we get through doing what we do, they laid their head down on my chest and just cried like a newborn baby. I'm just telling you, brothers and sisters, what I've seen, what I have dealt with. And I'm like, man, what's going on here? I mean, and these sisters was literally telling me what happened to them. And so, I mean, I'm all right, I'm listening to them and things, and I'm like, okay. And some of it, I mean, I ain't gonna say some of all of them, brothers, sisters, these, I think I had like two of them, only two of them that, no, was not raped or molested. The rest of them was raped and molested. And it's still bothering them. They were playing they was telling me everything from A to Z. And truthfully, brother, I didn't even realize this is when the time I was waking up with what's really going on with Black women. When I started still hearing the same old stories, one of the stories was, it was her brother who started essaying her at 7 years old. Yeah, it was. It was one of them was her. It was her brother, and then kind of find out, chasing that down, it was his auntie who did it to him at a young age. But although my life was a sinful life, I ain't gonna lie to you, I learned something from it, because when it was all over said and done, this brother, I lived on like the 20th floor, and this brother, he was a security guard, and he said, Mike, let me holler at your brother. And he said this to me, and this what slowed me down. He said, brother, man, I see you, man, you're a clean cat, you coming in, and things, you got your women, you coming in there. He said, well, brother, let me tell you something. All the women ain't gonna make you happy. This is what this brother said to me. He said, all of them is not gonna make you happy. He said, but at the end of it all, man, he said, Mike, you'll still be lonely, brother. He said, I've been where you've been. He said, but you're going to have to start respecting the sisters. And I'm like, how do you think I'm disrespecting? He said, you don't bring all these sisters here, brother. It's impossible. And I'm like, bro, you for real? He said, look here, Mike, man, I'm not trying to offend you or nothing. He said, man, I hope you don't tell the people, because he was a security guard. I'm like, brother, now you know good when I ain't going to be talking, telling, building our conversation, bro. I said, no, I'm not built that way. And so we was talking, and what the brother was saying, truthfully, it was getting in. I kid you not, brother, it was getting in. But I have gotten the information. It ain't the fact that I went out there looking for that information either. either, but I started to understand the plight of sisters and the hurt that they was going through. That's what I understood. And I was like, bruh. And so this sister, she was she was she worked at AT&T, but she, there was nothing between me and her. We was real good friends. She came back, Mike, you cannot, whatever you and your ex-wife got going on, you cannot take it out on the rest of black women. And at this time, everything is really truly slowing down. It's slowing down. Everything is getting in. And then it came to a stop. I literally came to a stop. And I looked at these sisters and I started talking with these sisters and trying to get an understanding of what's going on. But when these sisters, talking about one sister, out of she got assaulted and she ended up getting pregnant behind it. Oh, this post, oh my goodness. Brothers, this sister was so nice. But she ain't no but. She had that trauma that she could not deal with. And she was like, hey, Mike, what you doing? So she'll come over. We sit around, we talk and everything. That woman would lay down and cry like a newborn baby. And I was like, truthfully, I was upset. Shalom, says Yvonne. I was upset because I was trying to find this particular guy too. I was like, not necessarily trying to find him, but she told me by the time she got ready to go to the police about it, somebody pulled up on him and did a drive-by on him. But I started to understand about what's going on with these sisters, and we a lot of them, we stayed in contact, and things of that nature, and we always talking things of that nature. But I came to understand their struggle, and I'm like, it ain't the sister that's the problem. My speech was like this: it's the niggas. This is where the problem starts at. And I'm like, what? I'm upset at the wrong people. And so, at this time, I was working with AT&T, and so this one particular guy would come to the work with a whole lot of pictures of his so-called girlfriends in the nude, and I'm like, bruh, now. I never was one to sit down and indulge in him. He was always talking about he got a freak over here, he got a freak over there, and everything. And it was just It was irritating to me because I'm like, dude. Because guys just come up, hey, Mike, did you so and so? I'm like, bro, you know good well I don't talk that way. I don't tell you what I do with this woman here. Do you see me asking you about your woman? I'm like, what you gonna ask me about? I'm like, man, were you crazy? But they all knew how I got down on the job. So one day, this guy, he had pictures sitting all on the table. And it was this brother named Golar. And Golar just got married. And I'm like, and so I came in, I'm like, dude, every day you always got pictures hanging out on the table of your so-called women. I'm like, dude, what are you trying to prove here? Keep that nonsense to yourself. Why don't you come bringing your business and like everybody, like we supposed to be envying you? And that's when the rest of the guys said the same thing. Until then, they didn't say nothing. But he never came back to that job talking about his women and all his episodes and things of that nature. It's a mind, it's a spirit, a mindset. But I learned from mine. I learned from it. That's one thing I did. The way in the route, that is not. I wouldn't call that spiritually healthy. No, I wouldn't. I would not. but I learned from it. I seen the damages of it, of women and the struggles that they go through, they went through. And some of them are still dealing with it right down to this very day. This is the reason why I speak to brothers, because there is a power that we do have. We have a power to bring back, to heal, to speak about things, and to bring them to reality. But bitches and hoes, let me tell you something. That's one thing I never called a woman. That's one thing I had never did, because I didn't like cursing. If they got on my nerve, the most I would say nigga. That was it. That was the most I would go to. That's about like the highest word that you can get out of me. This is a time for us to really rise up, Israel. This is it. This is absolutely that time. It's time for you, brothers, to use your voice to heal, to bring back, truthfully, the comfort. Because that stuff is going to continue if we don't. It's going to continue if we do not attempt to start putting things in place. We will always be displaced. We're going to be displaced. Just calling a woman out her name is not healthy. It's not. It is absolutely not. Trendsetters, yes, we are. Let's take a trend. Let's take this trend and set ourselves up for success. Set ourselves up for glorification to the Most High. That's what we need to set ourselves up. Wait a minute. Sister Pixie, you said I need consistency. What do you mean by I need consistency and what? I mean, I don't understand that one. I had to just looked at the what you call. But this is the thing. We my sister, when she was living, same thing happened with her. I was young. I didn't too much know. Truthfully, I did not understand it until I got a little bit older to what really happened. These are the things, it happens. There's a lot of things that I did not know until I got grown in these little young sisters. Like, no, my so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so this. And I'm like, what? But this stuff is an epidemic, brothers. This stuff is real. It's before us each and every day. And like I was saying, brothers, a lot of these incidents happen between the ages of 7 and 9 years old. So take that as a warning. If you got a daughter or granddaughter roughly around that age, that's the time you need to be watching out. Don't allow these little girls, your daughters and granddaughters, to sit in somebody's lap. You don't know where their mind is at. I dated women with kids. This once, she had three daughters. I would not allow those girls to sit in nobody's lap. Nobody. I didn't know where their mind was at. So the safest thing for me to say, hey, no, you don't sit in nobody's lap. No. And they knew. So if you have a play point of, hey, it's between these ages of 7 and 9. Hey, watch your daughters. And nowadays, you have to watch your sons now. Not saying it's the son. I'm talking, you got to watch them from older people. Satan's system is going in deep into his lust. It's going deep. And we got to be on guard. Now, if we have to do it that way, to be on guard in between the ages of 7 and 9 when it comes to our kids and grandkids, so be it. But that hurt needs to stop somewhere. They don't need to be going through that. They do not. Be on the watch with these kids. Don't let these kids sit in just any people laps. I'm serious. You should not. And that's just me. And this sister had the 3 daughters, and oh, it was, and then I would not let them sit in nobody's lap. That was not my kids biologically, but I just didn't, I just felt uncomfortable because I don't know where these men's mind was at. Period. And I'd rather have that mentality, and I'd rather be on the safe side moving in that direction. And I would encourage any brother or sister to have that same mindset, because we living in a demonic system of Satan. We're living in it. And it's very demonic. You don't necessarily have to call your sisters a bitch or a hoe to be cursed. It's how you deal with them. If you're not dealing with your sisters according to knowledge, you can still find yourself under judgment. Period. If you're doing anything outside of the norm against your wife or your sister, whatever the situation may be, yeah, you want to, and don't let her call out to the Most High. The moment she call out to the Most High, that's when you're in trouble. Israel. That's scriptural. But we have things, we have the knowledge the Most High has given us now. These are the things that we need to do to show the Most High that we're trying to rectify matters. When it's all over, said and done, the Most High just want to see us. He want to see effort, brothers. Because truthfully, no, we're not going to be the one who's going to cure our sisters. We just showing the Most High we wants to be there for our sisters. That's it. It's the effort that the Most High is looking for. And when you have that effort, you have His Spirit, you have His blessing. He goes, see, all right, these are the men I need to take the lead. That's what He's going. That's what He's looking for. Brothers to take the lead. And we should be standing with that. That's the way we should be going with it, brothers. That's the way we should be doing it. And it's just as much as for sisters. There's a measure of respect that should be given to brothers. Especially brothers who's trying their best to take the lead. And that may within itself can be an uphill battle with some sisters, along with what what the devil has brought about in telling sisters, hey, you don't need them. You got your own job and all that. And so it's going to be a mindset. It has to be battled with. And that's going to be upon that individual sister to have that, or to want that respect to be given to brothers who's taken the lead, and the Most High who put in the lead. That's what it boils down to being, brothers. This is a scary, I'm going to say scary. I'm not going to say scary like it has fear for us. I will say that it's concerning In a dying world that's full of demonic influences, we have to be on guard more than ever before. With this awakening, yeah, yes, you there's a measure of urgency and alertness that we have to maintain daily, daily. Shoot, sis, let me tell you something, Pixie does. And I'm not, and you're right. Men do need to lead. Now that second part, women will follow. That's gonna take some time, sis. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that now, because the world has taught women they just as equal to men, and so now that right there runs deep. It runs deep, sis. Because I mean, hey, that's what they put out there, and it's like the world within itself will have to be humbled. The world will have to be humbled or put in a situation where men would take the lead, and it has to be a compromising position for women to follow. And truthfully, Sister Pixie, it seems like this world is on that path of being humbled. That's what it seems like. It's because it's going to get to a point where, hey, these sisters are going to need some protection. Because when there is no more law, think about that now. When there is no more law, or there's a disabled system where you just can't pick up a phone call 911 because they're not coming. They trying to protect their own household. So now these sisters or this woman is with kids is feeling, hey, I'm in trouble. Now that's going to be the time where yes, she will fall up under some type of protection if the protection is there, because the world is getting to the point where it's about to go buck wild. It's about to get that way. They want the world to get buck wild, and this is where it's getting, sis. This is the reason why I say, brothers and sisters, reach out to these sisters and things of that nature. Stop calling them bitches and hoes. They're not. Because the world is about to open up a door. It's going to be havoc. It's going to be havoc. The scripture speaks about that time. The Most High said, if he did not cut short those days, no flesh would survive. That right there should tell you the severity of what's about to happen. It's about to happen, brothers and sisters. This is real. It's about to get real. The day is going to come where you're going to need some protection. And I'm talking about even brothers. I know some months ago, and I was saying these things. Hey, it gets to that point now, brothers and brothers, family and family. Hey, the more we have in numbers, the more strength that we have. A single sister with kids and things, no, she don't need to be by herself. Because this is the time where demon activity is going to be at its all-time high. People going to feel, hey, there's no law. For the ones out there that's causing riots and everything, hey, we can do what we want to do. Think about that for a moment, brothers. This is a great tribulation that's about to come upon this world. We are had ours already, but we still in captivity. And it could affect us, and it can affect us. But we need to start putting ourselves pandemonium. Just imagine that for a moment, brothers. I mean, y'all see, you all brothers seen them. You've seen movies where people running around like they don't know which way to go or whatever situation may be. You've seen them. But think about these people Let's think about your good neighbor. Your good neighbor who's always quiet, who's always, what's the word? Very polite and seem to be helpful. You think you know your neighbor. You don't know your neighbor. Neighbor could be a pedophile, could be a silent SA person. All he needs is the opportunity to be presented to himself where he can live out his fetish, fantasy. That's Satan's system. Brothers and sisters, let's not underestimate what's about to happen. The Most High said it's a great tribulation. And if you want to talk about the tribulation, go back and look at what happened to us in Jerusalem. The mothers eating the afterbirth, but their tribulation is supposed to be worse, doubled. This is not to sit up here and, what's the word, cause fear. But if you look at the world for what it is, it's going to put you into some type of action mode or protective mode that we all will need. You may be a husband with a wife and everything, but you may have to go to somebody else's house, hey, just to have you some more protection. Because you got 2 or 3 men coming up on you, brother. The mind is what's going through your head? Oh, wait a minute, I gotta try to help. I gotta take these cats down because, man, please, if they bound me, they got my wife. No, man. Somebody's about to go to glory. And you're not the one that's trying to go to glory. Because you know for a fact, your fighting, your struggle is strictly for your wife and your family. You go throw blows like you never threw blows before. Because now you know for a fact what you got to do. This is real, Israel. All of this stuff is real. It don't make sense to sit here and haphazardly playing things down. Oh, it's going to get better. The United States is going to pull through. No. This is it. And it's going to happen. We went through it. Now it's the world's time. This is where we stand. We're going to have to build up our sisters, brothers. We'll have to build them up. Mindset, speech. We're going to have to start putting them on a pedestal. We're going to have to say, no, you are a very smart woman. You're a queen, or whatever the situation may be. But these words need to be going up to the Most High. Wait, all right. These brothers are blessing. They're speaking very highly of their sisters, their wives, mothers. This is what they're doing. It goes up to the Most High. He brings down that blessing. It goes up to the Most High, and He brings that, and all that blessing comes down. Wait a minute, Sister Monica. You're talking about the nation. All right, I see what you're saying on that. Shalom, brother, brother Robert. And that's what they. Let me tell you something. That's all they built upon is their guns. That I'm serious. I mean, the nations, the world, if they don't have a gun, they done for. They done for. I'm serious. You all on YouTube and everything and all that. Nah, it's all about a gun. They want to be able to have control. Shalom, Sister Melody. They all about control. Conquer, destroy, all of it. That's all. And the only life that they're looking at is their own little twisted life. That's it. Love of goodness? No. Their love of goodness only goes so far because they want somebody to be up under their foot. They want their foot on somebody's neck. We are at a time, and the way the situation is looking now, it's a lot more dire. It's a lot more dire. This is where we stand to this very day. That's where we at. Shalom, Sister Melody. Yes, it's we gonna have to and it's a mindset. It is. So the end with this brother. One thing I would say, once we finished that conversation, he said, "Brother, I'm gonna say this. You really enlightened me on some things." And truthfully, brothers, I did not even see that coming. I was sitting up here looking. I think it was Sister E. I was looking at. I was looking at something that she was pre-recorded, and then the brother came in. He was here for my brother, and so we started talking, and he, we said what we said and everything, and he was like, "Man, I'm glad I talked to you, bro, because he said, but the thing about it, man, and this is what he said to me. I'm glad he said this because I know for a fact a lot of brothers feel this way. He said, I just don't want to be made no fool, brother. I just don't want to be I don't want to be nobody's fool. And I said, well, brother, that's one thing. Individually, brothers as a whole, we got to bite that bullet. We gonna have to bite that bullet because every woman that you come about and you speak highly of, and she may take you for granted. Hey, call it a battle woman, but you got to keep on. You're gonna have to keep up. This is repercussions of the damage that we cause. Only thing we can continue to do, hey, you gotta continue to respect them. They may come up and call you out your name. They may come in, hey, you may be in a relationship. They may come in and do some things against you. But we're gonna have to brace up, take it, and keep on moving. And he said, man, I said, well, brother, we did it. We did the same thing. You reap what you sow. That brother, he said, man, Mike, he said, man, we got to have this conversation again. He said, man, you dropping scriptures and everything. He said, man, I was thinking about doing something wrong to this woman and things. I said, no, brother, you don't want to do wrong to him because trust and believe. The wrong that you think you're doing to her, that wrong is already got you wrapped up. And my brother, he was sitting here, he was like, man, that's some deep stuff, man. He said, I ain't think that calling these black women bitches was that deep. They didn't know the scripture existed. They did not know that the scripture existed about cursing your own brothers and sisters. But at least he walked out the door with that knowledge. And that's the beauty of it, brothers and sisters. I mean, we have the evidence that we do have that power to change minds, to change hearts. Only thing we need to do is do the same thing. Let's do our part, brothers. I mean, if it's not necessarily that you're talking with a sister, talk to these brothers. Talk to these brothers. Let them know about their mindset and why do they call women bitches and hoes? Why? Ask them that one question. Why? It got to start somewhere. And brothers and sisters on that note, I'm not gonna hold you all too long. Whoa, man, I ain't even realized it was that long. Good night. But brothers and sisters, we do have the power. We do have the power And this is the time where we need to start using our the power of our tongue for the healing of our sisters, and that's the healing of our brothers too. Let's heal one another. Let's speak righteous things for our brothers and sisters going forward. And so that it reaches the Most High. That when he said, all right, he's starting to see that, he's starting to hear the prayers, and he started pouring down blessings upon his people. And with that, brothers and sisters, I would say shalom, and you all take care of yourselves. Keep your head on the swivel. Shalom.